Hi, good morning. Good day when Keen stream. Yeah, I was supposed to stream like an hour or two ago, which is what I say every single time, but I always get distracted by something. Really good at that. Speaking of, okay, I was about to say where's my phone? It's in my pocket. I am very, very mentally here, as we can see. Curiosity. Let me roll the disc. Okay, well, I can't even find a game. This is off to a great start. I was gonna say when was the last time I even streamed? Soon. The answer is almost 3 weeks. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely could have streamed earlier, but other than, we'll see how it goes. Every time I want to go on Twitter on my phone, it's just a stupid X. Don't like it. Yeah, everyone's been endlessly complaining about the X logo. Give me back the Bluebird. Please. Also, alright, can you please give me a lobby? That'd be neat too. I'd be a fan of that. Maybe. You love Unicode characters, what do you mean? I mean, there's nothing wrong with Unicode characters, it's just like... Your brand is a letter. Is that really what we're doing? Have you guys seen that video that's going around of like the Twitter headquarters or whatever? They had that giant, uh, really bright, obnoxious X sign on the building. Because I saw a video of someone who lived near it and they were filming it, and it just looked like the most obnoxious thing ever. It was kind of amazing. By amazing, I mean like stupefying. And we're like, yeah, this is a good idea. Gotta say, if I die, this is the typical fare, isn't it? I wanted like the greatest marker ever or something. They were thinking about that. Now. Oh, here, I got two ads, dude. Nice. Riveting stuff. Oh, oh. Thank you. And that actually killed. I'm surprised. Twitter had me believing Dynamo would never kill. Thoughts on Dynamo buff? It's cute. That doesn't mean good, I think it's cute. Technically, I got buffed twice this patch. Technically. I don't know, it's like a neat quality of life, but I don't know, it's still just like, I would rather take the consistency of, I'm gonna say a singular thing. No, I would take consistency over the one we got, because oh my god, the hitbox, even at like one line of range, just like does not function sometimes. I'm not saying that like, oh, like you just make it like a herder, no main, like no aim weapon, because that'd be stupid too, but like I still see clips on the norm, like via Bigfoot and like other dynamos just on Twitter, of just like, oh, I forgot to take it, of a person being like one line away from them and the dynamo hitbox is like perfectly centered, like aim wise. So it's just like unfathomable that people don't die to it. Like I'd rather that get fixed than this. Like equality of life is cute, but again, it's like the thing I haven't said this analogy since like Splatoon 2, but it's like if you tell someone you had a really, really bad day and they just give you a lollipop or something, or like whatever like food you like, and it's like, yeah, it technically helps, but it doesn't solve the actual problem. It just makes me feel better for like 2 minutes and then I go back to the problem. That's like that, I guess. How do you jump flick with Dynamo? You input flick, then jump. Don't do it at the same time. Like you hit ZR, then B. If you're talking like if you jump in, then I don't think you physically can until you hit the floor, and then you do that. If you do together, then you get vertical. Want to flick first, or like start the flick and then jump. Yeah, the fact they buffed means they're aware, but you know. The 9 months Break Brawler hasn't gotten anything bug fixes. I'm just saying, it's the reason I started it. They don't play it. Isn't QSJ as a real song on song Hero Cooler? No, it's like the QSJ part of Cooler is like actually insane because they'll be like, I died to a guy. It's like, okay, where's the guy? You say, oh, the guy's here. And by then the call out might be useless because the guy might be weak, but then he just jumps back to like the guy standing top mid. And it's just like, okay, I lied, they're no longer there instantly. Like it's just such an insane like repositioning tool. Like you know what I'm talking about, where the one guy takes like multi fights with Cooler, gets 2 kills, barely lives, and you're like, oh, you could kill him, and then he just jumps back 20 feet instantly, and is now at full HP again. Yeah, it's actually crazy. It's one of those things. It's like QSJ is cool for stuff like that on paper, but like it's not worth the investment in practice. But like it's just a special, or like a facet of a special, so it's cool. Very cool stuff. Anyway, let's do this. Yay! Bro's just holding the shoot button. Honestly, I'm more surprised that actually one-shot the guy up there. I was expecting the very flaccid, like, 70 hit that wouldn't actually kill them. Can't do this. Amazing. You don't think the words? I'm sorry, I don't talk much. You don't think mid-season patches are doing enough? I want to agree, but I still think the game's content is like severely lacking, and I'm going to keep saying that every day of my life until they actually have an alt kit for every weapon in the game. Because then, once every main weapon has an alt kit, then I think we're actually getting started. If you know what I mean, like you're getting the ball rolling content-wise, because like a lot of weapons, like quite frankly, borderline don't exist in their current form because their first kit is just like dumpster fire tier bad, and it's been like that for ages. Yes, I'm looking at you, regular Brella. I'm looking at you, low tier, with a kit that's not good or unique. The weapons like that actually have like no purpose. Like, the I want to win POV. Which is like fine, you can have bad weapons that are fun, like a Lavender. Because it's unique. It's funny. But it's also bad. But if a weapon's like not unique, not fun, and bad, or it may as well not be here. It's like putting Love Disc in your Pokedex. You put it in the dex to say, hey, we have one more Pokemon. Then the player says, oh cool, what mon? And you say Love Disc. And they blink twice and look at you. And it may as well not exist in their mind. Yeah, like I want to like Brawl so badly, but the objective part within me says no, this is dumpster fire bad, you're just frustrating yourself, go play Thunder or Tenta instead if you want to play this weapon class. It'd be like that. Yeah, I do think sometimes they are a bit conservative about like buffing things. It takes them like forever to buff it and then a buff a thing and then they might overtune it. That's what happened with Jetpack. Like Jetpack was like unplayably bad day one. You had to wait like half a year and then they overtuned it and now we're in the state where it's like we had to unironically nerf it because it was too good. Like I don't know. Like I don't want them to like I think my flick hit the bubble. The trope was inside. I'm not asking them to reinvent the wheel every patch, because I don't like when games do that either, because then it becomes unrecognizable so fast. Like, I don't want that, but I don't know, sometimes it's like you want a little bit more of what you see being done. No. I don't know, I'm still in a state where I don't really take the game that seriously. I'm not playing comp or anything right now, it's just a funsy game that I wish was better in areas. Oh, totally away. Yeah, speaking of Zuka, that buff's kind of crazy that they gave Zuka. I think it's completely deserved. That's crazy to think about. I don't think we win this. Give E-Leader and Custom Leader and TC, like we're not winning fights with this. Oh, it gives me an excuse to leave the lobby and put a ticket because I don't want to play with this group. You went 0-3 and a 2 attempted rank ups this morning, you felt bad about taking a Brawl on tap. Yeah. Not a very good weapon. Like the opposite of good, but yeah. Yeah, I didn't kill anything. The outside bubble on like half my interactions. Oops. Oops. I don't want to play leader custom tuner in a kill based mode, that's cringe. SRC juniors, like so like you're like the worst thing ever conceived. Or I guess junior in general, like they know like they always just play so passive and expect they'll win. That's crazy. That's serious. This is expected. I don't know, like I haven't streamed this game in like 3 weeks. And I was really debating on Twitter, like having this like mini thread where I just like talk about like kind of frustrations I have with S2 on like a personal level, but I ended up not doing it, so I ended up just like playing Pikmin 4 and kind of just like taking a break, quote unquote, even though I'm definitely like playing like dailies and Salmon and all that stuff. I don't know, I think I've come to the realization, or just like, not even that, I'm self-aware, but I think I've grown like accepting of the fact that like if I stream or play this game I should be doing more serious than X, because X is like genuinely just unfun for me and I don't have any legitimate goal with it in mind. So I should be playing that far less frequently. Because I've had like way too many nights, like after work where like I don't stream, like oh I want to play Splatoon, and then I go play X rank and I wait. Like I play quote unquote 2 hours and then I spend an hour of that waiting in the queue. Only to go like 1-5 and lose like 20 points. Or like I guess like 1-6. But you know what I mean? Like it just like sours my mood so badly that I'm just like I don't even want to play this. I don't know. I feel like when I stream I'm just gonna be doing more series again. Like yeah, the games are like mind-numbingly easier and boring, but I don't know, I prefer that and to get to play the game more than kind of just like banging my head against the wall in X rank. It's like for what? I'm never gonna actually go for a top 10 badge unless I explicitly pick Western. I already got the top 500 badge, like there's literally nothing to go for outside of like I guess like locker decorations, but I don't care. I don't know, I guess that's like where I'm at. I guess I do X like sometimes, but like I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna do it a lot less. In conclusion, do what you think is fun. Don't force yourself. I hear. I'm so dead. I clicked really flash up and dead. I did that like you hear that? Like it made like a double sound. Versus on 45 minutes waiting for a game. That's the thing, you wait so long and then the game quality isn't even like good half the time. Or like more than that, honestly. Like I just asked myself, like, why am I wasting my time? Like this isn't fun. Like I don't know, I've complained about X a lot. And it's mostly like from like the quality of life perspective that it like totally lacks sometimes. But it's so frustrating. It's like why do I even play this? I don't know, I think I'm legitimately just gonna not play X, like unless I explicitly wanna like do something. Or like do like one series maybe, or two. Every now and again, I don't think I'm gonna like have sessions of like 4-hour streams where I just only play X, because I just frankly did not have fun with it at all. I don't see a purpose in doing it. Yeah, man. It was one of the funniest streams doing. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I hate that, like, awkward, like, kind of silence that kind of exists when I'm just trying to queue for X sometimes, when it's, like, mixed with that, like, I'm in a bad mood now because I'm, like, waiting, like, 10 years to play a game and the games are frustrating me because it's, like, bad teammates where I'm losing, or, like, I'm, like... That kind of thing, you know? Like, I literally see people, like, posting, like, today I went, like, 2-9 in X rank, and then I think about them, like, damn, you spent, like, 2 hours just to, like, wait to lose, like, over and over and over, and it's not even, like, always a skill difference issue. Because sometimes you just get boned by matchmaking, like, dumb stuff. It's like, oh, here's, like, 2/10 on your team, you know, that kind of thing. Like, I had that the other day, where I'm, like, playing, like, X on my own and playing Tenta, and I feel like mechanically I'm playing fantastic, but I rolled, like, 2/10 and, like, a bubble weapon into, like, a wiper player with hands. And, like, we just lost. And it's just the most frustrating thing. I'm like, why am I doing this? That are just unlucky by Q to stack, like, a million weapons that auto-loose the hammer together. And, like, the wiper player is, like, a top 500, so it's like, you just don't win. You lose and you lose and you lose and you get, like, -10. It's like... It's so mentally draining. I'm like, why am I doing it? It doesn't even feel like good practice or anything. Like, half the time, it was just goofy, like, troll comps you would never actually say. I don't know. It's been annoying, so I've been like in like mental warfare with myself of like, why am I playing this game exactly? So I have to like re-examine that to some degree. Whenever I have those kinds of days that just make me more sour. Like, I don't know, I don't think it should be a thing where it's like you're like trying so hard to find something or like fun in something that just feels like a shot in the dark. Like I was thinking about posting a meme. And it would be like I have two moods, and then one of them would be like going like 47-3 in series and be like, I'm so bored. Versus going like 26 and 24 in X and say, I'm so frustrated. Because I feel like that's what happens every time I play this game. It's one or the other. Ah, they do say it all. Fantastic. I don't know. There's like a lot of other stuff like IRL wise and just like Splatoon related wise that like kind of bug me, but not like the focal point. Like what I'm talking about. It's more just a bunch of factors like kind of lean into a thing, you know? I mean, it's like fine to be frustrated by stuff. It's like natural. The things you enjoy can like frustrate you the most because you like want things out of them. Oh yeah, that was like another thing because I ended up like laying in bed one day, which was like kind of like writing out my thoughts to sort of like get a better like understanding on how I was feeling because I was like particularly annoyed. It's kind of like the thing where it's like I feel like sometimes I cue into X because it's I'm bored of like series and I want to feel like more satisfaction and I'm more of a like not competitive because like X isn't necessarily competitive, but you want more of like I'm trying to like fill the void in a way because like I don't do tourneys very much and I don't do comp very much sort of thing, and like that's like a byproduct of like I don't have a team or like as much time anymore because I'm like working and all that stuff. And like it'd be cool to like grind with a bunch of people that I'm like friends with or like have a team or whatever. But like I don't have that, so I think what I do as a result is I try and go an X to try and like fill that void. But then it just makes me more mad because then it's like like from a team POV part of the fun is like like actually being with people, like having friends, like talking about like how to improve and all that. But solo queue is just like you're just by yourself. Like good freaking luck. Like if you mess up mechanically, you like it's so easy to get frustrated at yourself because you're like, oh my god, it's so easy. Why did I miss the one thing? Sort of thing. And it's just like it's not a substitute. It really it's just flat out not. I don't know. I saw the first bullet at least. Grab the second one, perhaps. No. No. You weren't able to play mental health up. Yeah, no, like it's like the thing. Like I don't think Splatoon by itself is like bad for me or anything like along those lines. It's more just like it takes like a delicate balance. There's Sprinkler. That was a guy. I was like, there's no way. And I guess I've been struggling with a quote-unquote balance when I want a specific thing out of the game, but I'm not capable of getting it at the moment. But trying to fill the void by playing X and like getting more annoyed and therefore like not having as much fun with the game is not the correct solution. So I should stop doing it as frequently. Or do it in smaller doses. It's also like a matter of priorities, right? Because I still want to do more YouTube videos and I just frankly like haven't, and like part of that has been a mix of being busy but also like not being in the mood because my mood had like soured so badly every time I was booting this game. To the point where I'm like, I'm mad, I don't want to make the video about it right now. I don't know, it's just funny. Sometimes you can be like so stubborn with yourself, and then you think about it like a week later, and you're like, damn, why are you so stubborn? Like, you know you're not having fun. Why are you still playing? Knowing when to walk away is genuinely a skill. Or I guess that itself is a skill, but like knowing when to walk away and then proceeding to actually get yourself to walk away is like another skill entirely. I'm self-aware that I'm in a bad mood when playing X-Rank, and then I still sit there for the next hour. And then the hour passes. I'm like, damn, I'm in a bad mood. Why did I sit here for another hour? Like, I'm cool with losing and all that, like, that's fine. But, like, it's a thing where you want to feel like it's something you can self-improve at, but sometimes it's so like you, it's just not. It's just straight up not. To be the best mechanical player in the world and get, like, the most dumpster fire comp imaginable, or, like, one guy who is actively, like, through by making one bad decision. Like, you have to accept that. That doesn't necessarily make it less frustrating when it happens. But they're so weak. Upper is so weak, yes. Kill, you did not kill. Killed. Uh-huh. Pray. But yeah, that's why I mentioned the thing earlier where I'm like, I have been playing this game, but I feel like it's been like Salmon and stuff, because like Salmon's something I never will get like frustrated at. Just because the nature of it. You know, it's not like a competition or anything, you're just simply, like, it's PvE. You're just chilling with friends or like doing dailies or like farming bosses and like co-hosts and scales. Like, 7 is one of my favorite, like, I just not necessarily turn my brain off, but it's something like once you get good enough, you can kind of just autopilot and get away with it, mechanically speaking. Like, that's just like one of my favorite ways to like play this game. If that makes sense. Like, I feel like I can never like actually be in a bad mood playing Salmon, and if I am, it's probably like a really, 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 really bad rotation or something. And even though it's like I do dailies and I stop like in like half an hour, that's the end of the story. What do I think of the patch? Net positive. Like, yeah, I was gonna say I had a tweet, but it was on like someone's circle, so yeah, that actually wouldn't be visible to most people. It's a net positive, but the game still needs content, and by content I mean like weapon ults and better maps and all that jazz. So there's still a lot to do. It's technically better, but yeah, I think there needs to be more. I'm gonna keep saying that. But we have like actual alt kits, and I can say like, oh damn, Squeezer's like a high tier now. Not even upgrade for me. I need like foil Squeezer with like a splat bomb and like any not bottom special. I need Brella with like 5 main weapon buffs and a kit. I need. Actually, I do want Emperor. I don't know if it would be like, I don't know what you would give it, or if it would be any good, but like, actually, on the premise of like Dually got the 1 main weapon buff, but like the V-Dually kit isn't like the most like crazy or like synergistic thing ever. I've got like has been like going down in stocks. Like, yeah, actually, Emperor would be a really good investment right now. I think it was good in terms of just like feeling like a new weapon. Actually, I agree with that. I'd like that in September. Now, you could unironically do Slap on Brief Slider on Squeezer, and I would not complain. Like, Brief Slider's an actual special, and like you would combo off one tap bullet-wise in the bomb. Like, I'm not saying I want Brief Slider on Squeezer, but I'm basically saying if you don't give Squeezer, like, Vacuum or something, I think it's, like, inherently good with Slap Bomb. Like, most things Squeezer would be pretty happy with, I feel. Nice, the Misa Wiper. Okay. Ah, dude, cool. Happy I hit them because they really thought the wall above it just cut me off completely. That interaction. Should have died. Bro. It's on tower. I was like, where is this cooler? Looking at the one I put down before. Epic. I don't still have this tab open. I swear I had this tab open like a week ago. That's how you know you have too many tabs. But yeah, patch-wise, stuff got changed. I feel like I already say this like every patch where it's like a bunch of like cute little quality of life stuff, like, oh yeah, like minor spectre buff, or oh yeah, like minor dynamo buff. Like, I don't know, like I'm in the mood for something zesty. I want something earth-shattering. Like, obviously Jetpack was like giga broken last patch, but like that's like an earth-shattering kind of patch of just like, oh damn, like this is like a real special and a half now. Like, I want that. I want those. Also, I feel like as far as this patch is concerned, outside of nerfing Jetpack, I think Zuka actually two-shotting on AoE is like massive enough that it's like actually noticeable. But again, it's the thing I complained about in the one tweet I had, where there's not enough like content in this game, like weapon-wise, because it'll be like, oh cool, X got buffed, and then you look at what has X, and it's like 5 weapons and only like 2 or 3 are legitimately like viable. It's like, oh cool, Zuka got buffed, and it's like Spotter Shot, Carbon Squeezer, and I think that's it. That's the thing where I feel like a lot of these changes are less interesting than they would be if the game was in a more completed state. Which isn't to say it's unfinished, but these changes don't matter as much when there's so little weapons with them in the first place. But that's also a problem of having like 17 specials, right? Whatever the hell it is, like too many. Because it's like, okay, this one sucks, we'll address it in 9 months. Like, okay. Yeah, I really don't know what to think about the vacuum thing. I'm still world #1 vacuum hater. It happened since like day one. That's been like my gospel of the stream. It's just saying I hate vac. Yeah, it doesn't change anything fundamentally. It just makes the stupid like trades a bit better, so you have to respect it a little bit more as a result. But, like, it still inherently has the same problems it always has. Which is why I'm not really like happy about it. As if you want to like dummy and simplify it to like an absurd degree, it does genuinely feel like when like a special is bad, the devs are like, make it paint more. Paint more damage. Bigger hitbox, and like that would encompass like every special buff that's like been in this game. Genuinely. It's so weak. I have the Armada about this one. I don't know, the fact that it just like paints like a dummy amount might just make it like more like it's a better spot zones cheese, but it's still cheese at the end of the day, which means eventually it'll like people will learn how to get better at fighting, and it's just not going to be very good because it has the same problems it always did. So I don't know. I'm not really happy with the back change, honestly. I'm mad about the hitbox buff to stamps. That was a good change. I think that's more of a problem of the netcode being terrible in this game than it is like a balance issue. Because yeah, like laggy stamp is like broken, but like what isn't broken in lag? I don't know, like people are memeing the change where they like lowered the duration of stamp. And like on a surface level, yeah, it does look kind of dumb, but I feel like it's like completely fine when you remember like how much stamp has been buffed in this game. And I mean like buffed, I'm not including the part where it didn't work for like 3 months. I mean like legitimately buffed as in like the shockwave hitbox buff and all that stuff, because that's like actually just insane buffs to give. It wasn't even beta, it was like alpha, like even like day one stamp in Splatoon 2, like it was bad, but it was just bad. It wasn't like buggy doesn't work level of bad, it was just simply not good. Again, I'm still on my like crackpot theory that the hitboxes got super messed up going into Splatoon 3. Because they had to remove the glitch in Splatoon 2 where you could throw it through walls, and they like shifted the position of the hitboxes because they changed where you spawn the hammer hitbox, because like in this game it's like more centered in your character model, but in Splatoon 2 it was like more so on the right side of your character model, like where you have bombs and stuff, which is why you could like clip it through walls from the right side of your character specifically. Like it was like easier to do like that. Like I'm pretty sure they just ended up accidentally like moving all the hitboxes or whatever the frick. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm fine with Stamp, but I'm also biased because Viper's like one of my favorite weapons in this game. Because I was also just mad for the first like 3 months because I'm like, damn, Viper's so cool, but it doesn't have a special. And then by like the time December happened, was it in December? Like whatever they like bug fixed Hammer and they gave Viper the one buff for the horizontal slash was actually paint clean lines, and I was like, damn, it's a real weapon now. So happy that it only took like 3 months. Sometimes you gotta wait like a year. I genuinely do like the Trizuka buff they did this past Also like the chump buff, but again, it's a distribution problem where like I still think Squelchy wants like main weapon buff, and then it could legitimately be good. Like Zap is Zap. Flash will never be good. Get real. I don't know why, I get the vibe they'll do like a zip buff next season. Like after the challenge in August. It's just a vibe I get. The Zip hasn't really seen much play at all. The only good Zip weapon was like Stamper basically, and that weapon, while still really strong, got its Zip indirectly nerfed with the ink efficiency nerf. Like, I don't know, I'm feeling a Zip quality of life coming in like 2 months. I am out. Good morning, Fairburn. Speaking of Stamper. I guess it's also partially a problem of a lot of the weapons are kind of just bad. Like the Carbon and Lunar are just like, why do you exist? The Light Tetra is just a shorter flip weapon. My mind will not change, and I did not mean a vertical there. Cancel back. See, that's something they should have done before the current patch, because now if you could cancel back, it might be dumb. But it's literally the thing I've been complaining about for like 9 months of just rework it. Like, don't do all these like other changes and then give the quality of life later, because that's how you get like garbage like Missile and S2. Because you buffed it like 5 times and then you gave it like the super quality of life of, oh, it can swim now. Take a lethal and you're not taking it. Why? It literally is built to kill. It doesn't do anything else. If it was bad at killing, which it was, and like why would you ever use it? Also, this game's netcode is like garbage, so it needs the AoE to kill in 2 shots, because directs are not consistent at all. It genuinely needs that kind of change. Oh, that didn't kill. Okay. Like, I was always saying, like, pre-patch, being like, it's not fair that Zuka gets, like, the gigantic 50 damage hitbox, and, like, far more shots than Zuka ever will. While Zuka gets, like, 3 shots, and the AoE on Zuka is, like, way weaker. And, like, can't possibly 2-shot, like, that doesn't make sense to me. That's like, they finally address that this patch while also nerfing Zuka, or while nerfing Jetpack, which is cool. I'd say the only change I don't really like this patch was why did you... Neither of them swam back and go back. The only change I don't like this patch is, like, again, like, unnecessary, like, quality of life to shooters that are, like, perfectly fine. That, like, don't need to happen. Like, why are they so obsessed with this? Like, it's nothing game-breaking, but it's like, these weapons don't need buffs. Quite frankly. Oh, Shark Ride. Oh, the other guy was standing next to me. Cooler. I just want to be a bait. Oh, cool. Super cooler team. Oh, the first one right now? No. Add. It's a long game played by the devs buff shooters, and then when everyone's using them, they make Sorella strong. You're funny. I think the more realistic route, knowing these devs, is that they buff Zuka, so as a byproduct, because Tenta Sorella has a Zuka, it therefore deserves a nerf, and I'll get 210 Zuka. That's what the devs would actually do. Would Brella be good because Narcotic, if the main weapon was actually good, yeah, it would be inconsistent but strong, which is better than inconsistent and weak as piss, which is what it is right now. But again, Brella's not gonna be like any factor worth considering at all. Unless it gets like a million main weapon buffs. Slash reverting a bunch of nerfs while also getting a good kit. That's like a 5-step plan to make it like mid-tier. Where we've only gone through like step 1, which is like funny bug fixes. Yeah, Brella gets bug fixes, that's all it is. I don't know, I feel like one day... It's the kind of weapon I feel like they're gonna do like 3 changes in one patch eventually, but nothing else outside of bug fixes until that day. I mean, hey, if Dynamo got like 2 actual buffs in this game, like Luna's getting buffed, anything's possible. Greedy cooler. Didn't even kill. Smile. Again, I don't care about Regbrella not getting buffs, and that's just because, like, not because I hate the weapon or anything, it's more just like, I don't even want it to be good right now, because the current kit is just boring as hell. Like, I would not want that to be good. And it wouldn't be good, unless the main weapon was, like, cracked out of its mind. Because there's just no reason to pick that over weapons like Neo Splash and T-Tech at the moment, like, flat out. Pretty nice. Cool. Bomb damage nerf. I don't think they would do that. If anything, I want like weapon class specific damage reductions. I'm talking swords and mainly sword. Sword's the main one. Sword should not do the damage it does on Umbrella. Like, I'm sorry, it should not. Like, one-shotting undercover shield from full with one flash on a Stamper is, like, ridiculous. Like, it is so needless. Especially because this is the vertical slash, right? And vertical slash on Stamper has, like, very, very, very little end lag, so you, quite frankly, like, you don't get to do anything about it. Although I'll still never understand the devs like hate Boner for Mini. Like it's actually the most unfathomable thing to me. That like Mini is like catching all these strays while like having succeeded like literally nothing in this game. Like bro actually did nothing. I really want that cooler, but that's not realistic. Also, I think it's dumb that they literally just copy-pasted the bow damage multiplier, or the charger damage multiplier umbrella onto bow. I think that's dumb, but I don't really complain about it because I don't think bow is really relevant. Well, like, if bow was relevant, I'd complain about it. Did not mean a vertical there. Oh. Oh, look, the enemy team has a junior. I almost didn't realize, because all they do is just bubble on tower, and that's the entire game plan of like 99% of juniors in this game. Ow. Great. Congrats on Gridlock. Wow, thanks. I got second. I'm just glad we had a good set in Grands. Also, I'm doing a video on that on YouTube. I've just been very not motivated for the reasons I've been talking about for like the past like hour, but I think I'm in a better like mood to actually edit that somewhat soon. I'll do a video on that for sure. But yeah, the Grand set was cool. I even thinking about the Undertow match. Yeah, that was funny. Good times. Good times. I'm also just glad I got to go to a LAN. Granted, I went to one back in like January, but it's cool seeing people again. Well, I say granted, I went to one in January when it was half a year ago. Golden Sharp Strike. I only have one gold badge in terms of the specials, but 12 influence is a lot, especially when you play like a bajillion things. There's like a bajillion specials. I think my closest are Spellcraft Tank and the Hammer, and then probably Booyah. Although I haven't really pointed it out because it's more of a thing you have to feel. Like I can definitely tell the whiting production by 10 frames, I think it is, which is like cool. Yeah. No, I did a second vertical. I'm not good at aligning them. Whatever. Like I did it because I needed the range if they rolled backwards, but then they didn't roll backwards, and then I just felt doubly dumb. It's like, why did they do that? It's not necessary. Hi, when did that guy even get there, bro? Sharking for like 10 seconds. You mean spoiler nothing, as in they just like drop it without actually putting spoiler text ever. That's kind of annoying, so. It's kind of like there's like kind of a there's like an etiquette about collectively playing the same things as someone else, right? As like a group. But then there's like that silent like awkwardness of no one like actually discusses it for like a month until like everyone's like done with it or whatever. Because I've been feeling that lately a lot with Pikmin 4, where it's like I know a bunch of people that are playing it, but like we're explicitly not talking about it for like, I don't know, maybe like a week or two until like each of us like finishes it, I guess. There's something kind of like cutesy about that in my mind. It's like, man, I want to talk with my friends, but also I don't want to spoil things, so I'm not going to talk about it yet. Yeah, it sounds kind of frustrating. That's also why I have the main Discord server that I talk in whenever there's insert thing. There's like one channel that's like called, like we just ended up renaming it like every time there's a new thing. It'll be like, oh, here's Pokemon data mine, or like, oh, here's all the stuff, or like that kind of thing. Like whatever you do always gets thrown in there, and even then, like most of the time it's just thrown in spoiler text on top of that. Very sick. Flavor of the month spoiler channel. Yeah, basically. First time I've seen Squid Search in weeks. Yeah, because I couldn't... Well, I could paint the wall, but like I'm not a shooter, so I can't do it like instantly, so I didn't see a point. Also, I had the cooler. I definitely should have killed the try first. If I were winning all these fights and the lead is like 40. A forge. Yeah, they're still sharking there, yeah. Oh baby Dynamo. Oh baby Dynamo. Alright, we'll do another one. Just 5U. I don't know what's worse, the fact they got away with that or the fact that they didn't react to that when Dynamo started up on vertical was like over a full second. A little bit silly. A little bit silly. Yeah, that's why I like having a channel for that kind of stuff. Because it's sort of the thing, it's like if you don't care about spoilers, you'll just like read it anyway. If you're like curious, but like if you do, then you just simply don't click it. I'll just hop off this patch. I have my dynamo flavor. Technoport are great. Yeah, I'll definitely make videos where I just like talk about it on YouTube when I'm like less lazy about editing. I say that and like stare at my monitor as if like I have a camera when I don't. You know the vibe. Oh man, Blob got buffed this patch. Riveting. Riveting stuff. Carbon dead. Yeah, Linemarker got buffed this patch. Yeah, I don't care about the same builds. I don't care. I've also been debating lately, because I did the 5 streams, yeah, it was 5 different streams of Pikmin 4, of like the main game and all that, but like I'm questioning, do I complete the rest of the main campaign and the other thingy on stream or not, because like part of me wants to play it just like on my own time, because like finding the days to stream is like tricky, but like at the same time it's been like a week and I haven't touched that game because I've been busy. Or like, maybe not a week, but a few days. I'm not debating on that. I didn't hit either of those line markers. Oops. Or did. Aw. The idea of getting 2 markers and then popping well and getting 2 more is very funny to me because it's like this really stupid, like awkward, like dollar store version of like double burst bombing. That's a very specific bomb throw. Again, I feel like I would struggle to ever play Rapid Pro Deco seriously because I'd just be too like fixated and fascinated by just like Dart being funny. Okay, how much is it even for triple Dart? Is it a lot? It's probably a lot. Can you even get triple Dart in one tank? I don't know, I haven't like played Dart enough to know. But I want the Dart. There you go. Dart combo. Dart game mode. Two peers, yeah, sounds like a bit much. I'd probably only do LDE to try and do that kind of stuff. Because if it's 2 peers, that's, 20, 38. Yeah, you would still have to run, like, over a main with full LDE to get that. That's wild. Right, because LDE, yeah, LDE is 24 at full effect. Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy. You'd have to invest that much. I don't know then. Funny, but maybe not much more than that. What frames does Squid Roll have armor? It was like this Twitter post forever ago I had bookmarked. I don't know the exact frame off the top of my head, but it's like this thing that you can like parry things, but it depends on how much damage you're taking. Generally, if something's low damage, you can like parry it better, but if it's like a higher damage thing, then you might parry it, which reduces damage. But some things are so much damage that you just simply can't, so it might make the sound effect, but you die anyway. That also happens if you're like weak and like quote-unquote parry something. If you take too much like bleed damage, you just simply die. I don't remember all the mathematics. But generally speaking, the armor's like in the very beginning when you like jump off the floor. Like when you want timeout. So like say there's like a bomb like here. So like you could theoretically like do this. And like be in the middle of the bomb. You take a bunch of bleed damage obviously, but yeah, you'd be fine. Or it's like say you're 1 HP and there's a bomb here that would kill you, then you can do this and like the bomb splash is like so little that you would like still live. Interactions like that. It's kind of like unintuitive and the game doesn't really teach you very well that you kind of just need to get a feel, but that's like the general idea. But yeah, if you're like 1 HP and you try and like parry like a dynamo horizontal, yeah, don't expect to live unless the weapon just decides to dead zone or something. Yeah, it's pretty fast if I remember. I can probably scroll down and like find the tweet. It's like really old though. Alright, line marker. Oh, I'm dead. Not me to drop. Brush. You're tempted to report for picking E later. No, don't do that, because that unironically will mess with, like, people actually, like it'll, like, actually mess with, like, people legitimately getting reported. Like, even if it's just, like, a haha funny troll. Like, no, it's just more stuff for them to read that doesn't actually, like, matter. Yeah. Oh, checkpoint! Cringe. Brush, I wish you went for it. I think this horde should be dead, but they're not. Yeah, I got the first dart, therefore, like, I want to eco fight it to direct. That's, like, objectively not the right play. At least, like, beyond, like, the first shot. I have no paint. I have a splash on our team. Where is the paint, bro? Yeah, but I don't think that's like a weapon-specific thing. A lot of people just aren't very good at the game, and that's life. Like, fine, it's just annoying. Kind of when. I'm gonna complain about it again. Why is the splash all the way up here when you have no pain in the middle? Like, that is not good gameplay. Straight up. Yeah, no, I don't think her splash is very good. I don't know. It's always much easier to tell when someone on a weapon isn't doing too hot when it's like a strong weapon, because it's just like you're either like this is like losing bias or just not painting or crossfiring or whatever the hell. I don't think we won this one. Dude, like, flash paint something, oh my god. The left side has no paint. Other. Dead again! Wow, we're still dying when we have no paint in our base. I just don't understand how that could happen. That guy got destroyed. There is no nice way to say that. Actually, I did say it the nice way, but you know what I mean. Yeah, that's one of those games. I was gonna lose the fight to the heavy too. Yep. Too nice. Hero shooters in the time investment, you don't get it. People are not good at the game. That is life. The entire left side of our base is like completely blue. Bro goes on bridge and like peeks something that probably outranges and dies instantly. Yeah, they died 11 times, and the Forge painted more than them. Yeah, I don't, that's not really good. Yeah, that's not the splash gameplay you want to see, to be honest. Rush also painted like nothing, like how are you almost getting out painted by Rapid Pro? Oh my god. Buff Brella. Snapper, yeah, I agree. Me too, man. Oh, you're all the same splash. Come on, dude. Ugh. Not too fun. You next. I tried. Oh. I'm gonna do the meme where I'm just trying to have fun with marker. Probably just one of the main ones. But it's funny. Oh, what? There's like not even a wall there. I think they're trying to like ping pong off of like the tiny little indent by the water. Don't ask. You're not gonna hit that for us. That's a top 10 bash, that's crazy. It's an NA badge. I don't know if they were playing like really autopilot, don't care. What's that Reef, the Yellowtail TC game? That game was bad. Better mechanically diff, I don't know. And to marker. I feel like if they ever renovate this map, make it like less terrible, they gotta like expand this entire area here. It's like the easiest choke point ever to just like, not choke point, but like, it's way too easy to just deny. It's such a tiny little platform, like there's no, like there's not enough there. No. No. Very new Bebop Rowell playing Stamper as extreme hierarchy. I mean, I like Stamper and Sword a lot. Probably my favorite weapon in this game, so. I mean, in terms of the weapon matchup, sure. But I think it's like the fact that like a lot of Dynamo players just like want like swap to like Stamper or like Expo and like S2 and 3. Like there's enough like overlap. Uh 210. Fun times. So thank you for the Ray Liberty. What's up? Just vibing, playing series today. Kinda one-sided for the most part, but I don't really feel like doing X. I don't feel like waiting 10 years, so we're just chilling. That person's saying Magnemite. Magnemite, not Magnemite. No T in Magnemite. I like Magnemite, it's a cool mon. Oh, game too high. I feel like whenever I first start playing, what do you call? I feel like the first game I play Zuka every day. Like every day that I play Zuka, I just always aim too high at first. I aim lower. Oh, bro, knockdown. Thank you. Thank you, buff. Oh, I should open the shelter with the first one. Yeah, like where the switch came up, I was like trying to find them with that last shot, and I actually had no idea. No clue where they went. Golden Cooler, Golden Dynamo. Not Golden Dynamo, Faster Dynamo, same difference. Yeah, I had that happen a lot in X. Just like mirrors like that. The reason it just stopped. Oh, this might be hard. 2 tenths in a clash, I think I'm kind of doomed, not gonna lie, but... We'll see. Maybe the power intent would be something after. The V10, maybe not. Oh, that sucks. I shouldn't have peeked up to the first one. Yeah. You pay behind me. Guy here. Oh, yeah. Like, where's that clash? You're fighting someone with more range and you should help me earth them. Everyone may jump. Okay. You're gonna lose that fight anyway. Oh my god, clash players. Clash players or something. Why did they just feed into them like that? I don't understand. I'm getting shot through shields. What are you doing? Okay, nice, a slaggy machine, got it. Stuff, he's right next to you. Don't know that. Paint this in. Let's just drop onto that. I think I'm going a little bit silly. I'm going a little bit silly. Kind of annoying game. Did 210 in the Clash, but it worked out eventually. It just felt very ugly along the way. Yeah, honestly, I just don't like having anchors in X rank. That's another thing that really is frustrating about that, because I'll play 10th, because I want to play 10th, and then you still queue up with like E-Leader, plus like another anchor weapon, and it's just like our comp is so physically slow that it's just not possible to win if the opponent has like weapons that like play too fast and they're like mechanically good enough. Like it'll literally be like you have like one chance to kill a wiper and you just like miss it, and like the rest of your comp is physically too slow. Yeah, I don't know, that game was just weird, honestly. I don't even know what to think of it. Drop the water bottle. I did the hand gesture. I was gonna say handshake the other 10 for having the same exact like KA and Zuka. That T-Tech was struggling. Their gameplay was weird. It's weird. Like they'd like paint a spot and then just sit somewhere. Weird. Very, very strange. Like they like killed me and then just like sat there. That's like it just looks silly because the ball point just rushed them. Goofy stuff. I'm like too lazy to go get this water bottle. Do I? My arms are not long enough for this. Please help. Yeah, true. Kind of farming money. Good evening, hope the day's been good. Yeah, it's been fine. Kind of was playing series for a couple hours. I wish I started streaming earlier, but oh well. That's on me. not messing with that. No. Oh. Yeah, behind me. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I have V-Jet on our team, I don't like that. Oh, that's awesome prediction lag, I love that. They stopped playing V-Jet, that's what I'm saying. You spent your day studying rollback netcode. Pretty interesting. I have no idea how it works, but it's fancy. If fancy and make game online be better, in case of like fighting games. It's kinda neat. Come on, dude. He's so eager to kill him! He's a 10, the Brady is so garbage! How do you let him get away with this? Oh yeah. 40 damage or 60 damage, it matters not. People are not good enough to capitalize. Indeed. Oh, this is an L. It's V-Jet on our team. That is not happening. V-Jet's just still a throw weapon. Oh my god. I forgot the 3 mains of charge up as a vacuum spam is a valid strategy at any level. Oh my god. There's more incentive to ignore it now. Yeah, there is. Because fundamentally it's the same exact special, except oh boy, it cheats his zone caps instantly now with extra steps. Great. V-Jet is still like dumpster fire to your pet. Oh god. Awful weapon. Number bigger, smiley, true. Yeah, that is a pretty cool thing. Marker buff goes so hard, yeah, you 2-shot combo with V-Jet and then you realize you still don't have a special. Great. Awesome stuff. I'm gonna die on the hill that Inkback is my least favorite special in this franchise, and I don't care. Not talking viability-wise or anything, I'm just saying it's my least favorite. I just simply don't like it. I actively don't like it. Yeah, that'd be nice if they buffed Brella. I think that's fine, honestly. Outside of, like, if you want to give it, like, a quality of life, like, matchup thing, sure. Or reverting the ink efficiency nerf, sure. I think Ragbarrel is the one, like, literally drowning in the pool right now. It's got nothing going on for it. Actually, I don't want to be. We have Pencil plus V-Jet. Our comp is so bad. No paint behind me, I can't rotate to. Eh. Yeah, so like they have try 52 against our horrendous comp, so yeah, they win. Unless they're worse. Maybe they are. Still, okay, you're actively backing and they still kill me. Like, what? Your special is like actually awful. It means nothing. Why is it even here? Yeah, good. Disconnect, great. Was the pencil that DC'd, but whatever. I just don't care. I think pencil's fine on specific maps and zones only, and I am adamant about that. Specific map zones only. I do not like it at all otherwise. But even that, it's not like an easy pick up and play weapon either. I would still only trust people who play like a Charger or like Bamboo to even touch it. Yeah, literally maps like Mincemeat. Not something like this. You're not stalling the zone at all on this map with that thing. And this hellscape together. So we lose like one fight really decisively. Then we lose. The time will come, don't worry. Okay, got a vacuum. Okay, here we go. Like, can't eat that penalty physically. Yeah, it's kind of funny because we're still winning enough fights for it to like look like an actual game. Coward. Carrying out feed actively. Bro, it was like a rat trapped in a corner. Oh my god. Yeah, I messed up the last Zuko shot. I definitely could have gotten that triple. For sure. No question. It's like a literal 3v4, so it's the kind of thing where it's like if they lose that to like freaking VJet, like no dude, that's like you don't want to play anymore for the day if you lose that game. It's like how? Ow! That's messed up. Looks like I have a phone call, so hi, great baked potato. Give me like a minute. Okay. What are we talking about? Like a pencil. Yeah, and I'm still adamant as like a pencil hater. Like I think it requires a specific type of player with a specific type of skill, in parentheses a lot, on a specific kind of map mode. So whenever I see like pencil on my team on like Flounder Clamplets, like I'm giving you like the angriest like stare of just like, do you know what map we're on? It's like if you die 10 times because someone sharks the wall, like it's on you. Like you know what you're doing to yourself. But I think that also is just like a byproduct of me hating Charger and solo queue, because there's so many people that actively like pick Charger that are terrible. Because it requires a lot to be like half decent with them. So to play a Charger that like requires you to actively like crossfire your teammates and paint and all that stuff. It's a tall ask for a lot of people in this game. Because like yeah, on paper like Sniper Rider combos with like Ink Mine on 10th and like most of the damage values and like all that stuff, like it's cool. But in practice, I think like 99% of Sniper Riders will never be good enough to do that. At least intentionally, so. Cancel down in the moment. Okay, nerf snipe. Did they like drop zone? That was, I don't even know what that looked like. That was weird. What that was. I don't agree. Your bullets are not looking at me. Like I drop down and the bullets are on the ledge above me. I do not agree. I'm also like feeding right now. How'd you drop into that? What's the game plan there? Why are you up there? Are you doing the meme where you zip on the floor? I see. That's probably what that was. I'll fall for that meme. That's how you get yourself killed every time. Why are you dead again? You just literally just got back. Are you 2R? Okay, you are, thank god. Amper, can you like crossfire this guy at all? That'd be awesome. Ew. Not be peeking the shot, but it's funny, but I shouldn't. That's like what Camo would do if you have hammer. That's what that was. I swear every time this dude pops zip, they just die. Did I like block that or what? I don't know how they didn't die. Weird. You're watching a September 2022 stream, now you're watching someone who's zipping into the floor because that's how you get yourself killed. Like zipping into the floor against like half-decent players is a meme, do not do it. No, okay, no, the Hydra's laggy as hell. Oh my god, what? No, 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 no. I feel redeemed. I was not complaining for the sake of complaining earlier. No, they're just actually laggy as hell. Don't win that. The 10 umbrella. Bro, shotgunning. It probably did happen on this map. It was probably me flaming Luna like a year ago by now almost. My opinion on that hasn't changed, by the way. Luna still sucks. It's V Luna. Zip on V Luna's a meme. Yeah, I know what you mean, Seth. I can definitely see the logic, but I also think it's just way less splashable by being a charger by nature. Like, again, on maps like Umami zones, mincemeat zones, no, I agree. Like, it's really, really stupidly strong. But, like, that's like the maps that are, like, good for Bamboo, too. You know, it's like the same logic of, like, flat map equal good, zone map to stall equal good. But it's still, like, some, like, hyper-specific niche thing, and I'll still, like, get, like, annoyed at people for picking it, and so, like, you know, like, these really, like, trashy map notes for it, which is, like, not a weapon problem. Like, no, this is people being dumb and not understanding the game. But like if we're out here like picking pencil on like Mako TC and you're like, why can't we push? It's like, shut up. You know why we can't push. So dumb. That's pencil and humpback, probably garbage. It's like really elevated. Like it can probably stall the zone well, but it can't like fight anyone behind walls at all, and the kid can't flush people either, so that sounds kind of terrible. Like at that point I'd rather just have like a siege jet or an explo. If you're gonna go that route of like, oh, stall the zone, like I don't think pencil offers anything on that map mode. What's the weapon I want in the meta? What kit would it have? Foil squeeze or spot bump something. I don't know what. I like that weapon. Bring it back. That's what I would pick. Don't know the special. Just squeeze it with a bomb. Would like probably be like relevant instantly. So that's my piece. Yeah, spot bomb imagination except vacuum is like probably sufficient. Oh, we have a V-Chat on our team again! Cat, we lost. Yeah, this is why buffing vacuum and dart was a mistake, because you get people picking these things unironically when they're still terrible. Because they're like, oh, but it better. It's like, oh, so bad. Okay. was expecting them to move more, but they didn't. Now I am simply confused. I blew your bomb, now what? Die. Cool. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that instant caps on this map. Oh, a wise piece of information. They still won. They got the 17 hit at the end. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't want Bamboo to be meta relevant, I'm sorry. I just straight up don't. I would describe it as the thing where I don't like Charger being good, and, like, Bamboo being good is, like, the problem of Charger, except it doesn't have, like, a very long startup time or anything. You know what I mean? Like, there's, like, very little downtime Bamboo, like, isn't playing. Outside of, like, just straight up running out of ink, and I don't like that. Like, it just makes it kind of obnoxious for a lot of short-range weapons to exist. That's often I, like, don't want to be, like, super relevant, to be honest. Also, that's weird. I'm, like, holding the button down. I feel like my shot still feels, like, delayed sometimes. Like, I wouldn't hate it if it's, like... How would I say? If it didn't have, like, a super obnoxious kit, I wouldn't hate it, but I wouldn't actively say I want Bamboo to be good, because I quite frankly don't. Accurate as the meme. Gonna keep saying it. Yeah, like, I don't think Bamboo being good is fun, just straight up. Like, it's not a fun weapon to fight by design. Therefore, I don't want it to be very good. How was that interaction? Alright, chat, let's put 2 mines in zone and sit over here and put a 10 shield here, and we're gonna wait for them to reslide the zone and then kill them instantly. I missed. Good enough. Man, I set myself up so well for that. I thought they would zip on our half of the zone. Because, like, you can... or their half of the zone, because you can insta-cap there, but he went all the way for some reason. Man. But yeah, I also say this with full bias and spite because I absolutely despise Bamboo being good in Splatoon 2 because you would legitimately be wearing Inkres, be at full health, and still explode, and it was, like, actually complete. Like, no, it was so infuriating. Like, I hated Bamboo being good in 2. That's also just MPU being poor design. Again, like, a weapon with, like, no cooldown doing 99.9 is not good game design. It also had missiles, like... There's more reason to not like it in that game. I actually don't want to... Well, okay, the V-Jet didn't do bad, but, like, I still don't like it, but, like, I'll entertain it. Fine. I feel like Bamboo by design as a weapon, they're never gonna, like, super buff, and that's a good thing. like, nah, if Bamboo had like good paint, like good paint, like that'd be broken. That's like what Sniper is supposed to be, but Sniper has like splatter scope tier of like, or a little bit more actually, of startup, I believe. It's good design. Don't need weapons to get like a bajillion paint at mid-range safely instantly. Yeah, Sniper has to charge to do that. That's a commitment. Bamboo doesn't. It's like 20 frames. Like barely a charge. Break the wall, please, I beg. I wanna go over here. No one ever goes here, really. It's not good, but like it's funny. Yo, the Vac go crazy. I guess I didn't die to that, honestly. I guess I hit the wall on one of the things he didn't hit. No. What in the world is that build? It's so bad. How awful is your efficiency that you need that? That's crazy. Yeah, if it's a bug fix, that's fine. No. Yeah, it's just historically when Bamboo is good in S2. Like, it was like one of the most unfun meta weapons. Because imagine trying to peek to play anything and then you're just bleeding at like 0.1 HP and it's just like, okay, sit still for 2 seconds, and it's like, this is not fun. Also, if you get chipped by missile at all and they tap you, you die. Like, this isn't fun. Gross. Yay. Didn't realize I was that weak. Yeah, I think I was about to say a charger issue. Step on the mine. Step on the mine. Thank you. Yeah, generally speaking, I just don't enjoy fighting charger. When it's like good. Like, and Bamboo just felt like it was like cheating in S2 because like the design of charger is like it can't hit through wall, and it can't. It has downtime like of like, oh, they missed, I can move now. But like Bamboo like barely has that in the second case because it's like, oh, they missed, I'm gonna move toward them. I moved like half a line toward them, they charged again and killed me. And like it's fine if that's like a combo thing, because it is a combo thing now, because it does like 80 something, which is great for comboing, but like when it just one taps you from full, like that just feels like complete horse to lose to. It's like, this is not cool, dude. Because that's to literally be like, you don't even put your toe in enemy ink, you have ingress, and you still die in one hit sometimes. Like, it actually was just infuriating. I gotta give it missile too, so it's like, Yeah, like what was it, like 180, 190 missile before they like nerfed that. Like Bem's not like an amazing painter, but like bro would like definitely get like 7 missiles a game kind of thing. So it's like, okay, cool, like it's a charger, but it also has a tool to flush you out and know exactly where you are. So it's like, well, that's tough. I have 13 monsters, let's bring back MP. Yeah, just how about we don't? How about we don't do that? Or if you do that, don't make it like any damage values. But like better yet, just don't. Be the better idea. Yeah, but chargers you actually have to hit things for it to matter a lot of the time. Because like yeah, you know, like painting your teammates and stuff like enabling, like that's nice and all, but like you're a charger that doesn't hit a damn thing, like no one's scared of you, they're just gonna run at you. So it's just like that really goofy dynamic. What are you doing? Rose controller died. It's like I got distracted by the guy standing there listening. Like, it's the kind of thing where it's like, if you're bad with it, then the weapon's just terrible, but if you're good with it, like, it feels like the opponent can't play the game. That's what Charger feels like. On some maps and stuff. I really want to hit them PK. Onzuka. It'll be me one day. And I guess it goes back to, like, the consistency argument, or whatever, right? Where, like, yeah, Splatling can't instantly melt you, but it's, like, consistently crossfiring. So it's easier on, like, a base level. But, like, its peak is theoretically maybe a bit lower. Because if you have, like, literal aimbot in your charger and the opponent messes, like, up at all, like, you just get a kill. Kind of thing. You're second tired of Twitter charger players. No, like, yeah, they're like definitely the more casual players that like complain. It's like, oh, I miss E-Later with Burst Bomb. It needs it, and it's like I'm like taking off my glasses for this. I'm just like putting my hands on my face. Like, oh my god. Like even like peak MQ E-Later in Splatoon 2 with 170 rain was winning like a bunch of area cups, and they're like, yeah, no, E-Later needs Burst Bomb. It's like, Jesus Christ, you're just not good at it. Like that's the reality. Like it was so insane in zones for a period in 2. That's just one of those things where people play at different levels and have different perspectives. But it's just like mind-boggling when people like act like they know more than others when they just like aren't at a level to like speak on such things, at least accurately. Bubble Blower E-Leader, I don't, because I hated getting it on my team, to be honest. Best Bubble Blower 10, which V10 being based and not cringe. That's what I miss. I should have opened shelter to the first one. This is me wanting to kill the one person. Let's go, ends up. Yeah, baby. Die. I didn't combo him, sad. I should have stayed low. I should not like hopped up that ledge while doing the Zuka. Sometimes like you want the better angle to get the easier shot, but you're exposing yourself to like getting shot back at more easily, and that's not a good thing. don't really know what the goal was with that trip strike. Kind of just stood on the uninkable very casually. Good example of what I just said about wanting the better angle to hit things and making yourself easier to hit. Yeah, map design is another factor with weapons like Charger. The reason that maps like Mincemeat, like month 1 of the game are like so like, I mean they're still infuriating for like just map design reasons, but like month 1 of the game, back when people were picking like leader on maps like Mincemeat, it was like a genuine question of like, without Ninja Squid, like how do you close that gap when the map is designed in such a way that you have to run through one specific area? The answer is you didn't really. You basically like farm for crabs and spam fizzy. Yeah, whenever Charger is good, it kind of just slows the game down to a degree. Night Ginger. I don't know how much longer I'll stream anyway, because again, I want to start earlier. Because we're entering the times where I might have to like mute for like a minute. Yeah. I kind of want to keep playing, and I don't mind just having the stream there. We'll see. Oh god, the people there are just like, yeah, just throw bombs. Smile. Bombs are a luxury not everyone gets to get. Again, bombs. Okay, maybe I'm lying. Maybe everyone gets bombs according to the enemy team's comp. I wish bombs were a luxury. No bomb equals funny. Oh, we have another V-Jet. No, I don't think. I don't like her comp on this one. Oh no. Yeah, no, this comp is bad. That is depressing. That throws me back to like month 1 of the game where I was playing Junior on this map. It's such like a nothing map that like stalling with like bubble felt like decent as a throwback. Yeah, so we have vacuum and hammer and bubble. And notice the part where our retake cools are not good. You'll notice the part where my opponent's internet is not good, and our connection is not good. Alright, Chad, it's time to leave the lobby. I think Charger plays a bit too slow for current meta. I think Charger's really bad into cooler. Plays like something like later, just like plays way too slow. Aircraft was bad. It was really bad. I hate scopes. I don't like scopes either. Also because I have like spaghetti hands. My aim is not my aim is. I was like, well, my aim is jittery to an extent, but I have like my hands are very like shaky. So whenever I play scope, it makes me feel like it's just like you can like visibly see it. It's not good. I don't know. That and like Cold Charge is so fun. I feel like the skill ceiling goes up so high with like Cold Charge. That's funny. Okay. It is the thing where I'm muting and unmuting, but I am glancing at chat when I can. I think the thing with Explo is on a fundamental level it should be good, but it's been really bad against what's been strong in this game, so it's kind of just like good thing in wrong game. Because on paper it looks really appealing, but like early meta just sucked because it auto lost the burst bomb and crab, and then last meta sucked because it was like unplayable against inkjet spam. Like in the future it could potentially be good, but right now it's not the game for it. Yeah, like a good Expo could be really good in the future, like suddenly, but right now no. But with crab and inkjet being good, just no. Yeah, like Expo losing the jetpack wasn't relevant month one when jetpack was like bad, but now it's like super relevant. So it's like, yeah, crab is on a downward trend, which is like in paper like, oh, Expo maybe question mark, but against jetpack it sucks. Also, its best like teammate partners and like Splash and Machine have been like on a downward slope as well. Like granted, they're still like top and high tier like kind of weapons, right? But it's like this weird thing where the best weapons to pair with it are getting weaker, and then the meta change, but the new like whatever is like strong now is also good against Expo. Expo also really doesn't like cooler meta IMO because the kill time is bad and like can't deal with the speed of the game. They can't kill fast enough to really punish people in terms of like jump outs. Like you might like your teammate might lose a fight and you like if you hit them but don't get like a 90 and miss the kill, they could just like jump back and then your moment's already gone. Kind of thing. Like it's a cool weapon, but like it doesn't flow into how this game plays at all right now. Is a shame. I like the idea behind Bo's kit. I think Whale's cool for it, but I don't know. I want to see a bow with like Inkmine. I don't know what's special, but like I think Inkmine would be cool on bow to make its like CQC less like god awful. That's not bad, but you need like additional pressure to work with it. It just doesn't like it's not so strong that you would be like, oh yeah, let's play bow. It's like no, it's not that good right now. Someone please set this machine, thank you. Yeah, so we place at him. I deranged, how are we letting him sit here? Thoughts on whale buff? It like what would you do with it? That's the real question. Like how do you want to buff whale? I feel like it's a special design that's like very easy to make obnoxious and overbearing. As if Oni don't have zone control, this is an L. Wow, you don't know how to buff without making it cringe. I think that's where the devs stand. Yeah, no, like, it's, like, very easy to make Whale overtuned. Like, even if they buff the damage Whale does by, like, a little bit, it'll still do the thing where it may not necessarily flush someone the way you want by itself, but the second that, like, you force people into, like, those checkmates to, like, start getting hit by the Whale, then they might just, like, melt. So, like, damage is weird, but then duration being longer isn't a good buff either. Because then it's just more obnoxious, right? Like, how do you change Whale but not make it more obnoxious? Like, I genuinely don't know. Because the devs seem to be very obsessed with this idea of special is bad, make it paint more. Because we did it to Reef Slider and we did it to Vacuum. We looked at Trip Strike and said, oh, let's make it melt you instantly instead of adding a quality of life to it. So it's like, okay. It's a pretty funny tweet. Giant death around these maps. Yeah. Oh, that'd probably be pretty bad. As if the spawns aren't small enough. Imagine Splatoon 1 whale on some of these maps. It'd be like you like whale the enemy spawn when you're pushing like the tower, and now they're forced into a literal hallway. Or like half a hallway. Like imagine like being Umami and you just like whale like one half of the enemy plat. So they're all forced to go to the really sucky left side from their POV. And then the machine just pre-fires it. It's like, yep, they can't play the video game. That's life. God. No, dude, imagine Splatoon 2 C-Jet on Eeltail in this game. Like imagine trying to play Eeltail Rainmaker and this dude is just like sitting top right the entire game, just like farming Stingray. Awful. Yeah, bro, just flank him on the uninkable. Lamau! Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could adjust how it tracks people. Or like ease the amount of like, I don't, you can mess with the amount of time it takes to track someone because it does feel a little awkward and intuitive sometimes in its current state. I don't know. Get me out of there. Get me in there. Get me out of there. Get me in there. Happening in this game. I actually don't know what's happening in this game. Do I? I really want to. I shouldn't. Yeah, it wasn't worth it. Away. My snipe. Yeah, I don't think this Hydra is too fond of me. Just a thought. They went too soon, they had to wait for me to regen another shield. But they went too soon and I followed them too soon. That's what happened there. Should just let them die and kept sitting there. Oh no, now the Hydra's on our Snape. Oh no. Time to go right. Time to jump out. Yeah, this is awful. Good. Oh, I'm painted. Looks like paint behind us for a sec. This is so orange. It physically pains me how orange it was. Nice. Oh no. Oh. For gamer. I missed. Okay, thank you. That's a really dumb flank. Why did I get a triple from that? That's like actually what a spotter shot wants to do. Why am I doing it with 10? What are we talking about with Reef? Oh yeah, I don't think Reef is like bad. Like I don't like even before it got like some of the buffs, people were like, "Oh, Reef is the worst thing ever," but like I don't think it was. Like just the fact it's invincible and can like pierce through things alone, like elevates it like farther above Slashdown could ever be. And, like the 70 damage sour spot is huge, and like instant capping his zone is like really degenerate and stupid and cheesy, but we don't see it much because of the weapons it's like kind of tied to. But no, like Slider's actually kind of legit on some maps. Yeah, zones is a hot mess. Remember, chat, clams is the best mode. Here in the stream, you have to agree. If I have to agree, it means listen to my opinion. I had another thought. What was the other thought? Oh yeah, the question was the Spotfest team. I have no idea. It's basically a recycled theme. I don't really care so strongly, but I'm probably going to end up on Love, I guess. Tense. Better than 1. A lie, actually, but it's funnier than 1. You know, like Slaughter doing 70 AoE is actually insane. In terms of like crossfire with like virtually anything. The beat hunt. I don't think the Expo likes me very much. You know, no, like Day 1 Slider when you could parry the lead hitbox was stupid, but it was also a weird game because like the slider weapon people were playing Day 1 was Tetra because Tetra was bugged. Because you couldn't camp rolls on dually jumps, and it was really stupid and annoying. Like a lot of people probably don't remember, but like I remember playing in a scrim. It was either like against Fuzzy or Isabel or something, and I was trying to camp a jump in. And like it was physically impossible. It was like actually really annoying. That's what I think of your buff, Bozo. Well, buff, I'm gonna shark here the entire time. Because you can't physically kill me. Okay. The whole squad. Bro, so weak. Yeah, we should buff Slider and Salmon around to do that. Second ton shield, go! with their powers combined. You can kill the X-Boy. Missed the last shot. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Hey, look, they're dropping into me. This is funny. Wow. Evil. Oh my god, he dropped into me. No, the vacuum didn't eat the hit. Oh my god. What's happening? I think the worst idea you've ever conceived is the Tencho getting the undercover shield buff. Yeah, that sounds absolutely ridiculous, because imagine blowing like a bunch of resources to break the tent shield and then like an ink mine pops. And then just the tent gets a shield. No, okay, no, because, okay, like, is there like a limitation on that? Like, in theory, if you do that, would you have to wait for the first tent shield to disappear? Or could you do like the single player Brella upgrade buff where it just regenerates instantly? Like, if you're chaining kills, can you have like 3 tent shields out at the same time? Because if you could do that, that'd be hysterical. Like, that sounds like the funniest PB thing ever. Hi, Tara. They could give it to Brella because it sucks. But like, but you don't shield launch with regular Brella in like 99% of scenarios. So I don't think that does anything. Like, if anything, like it's like if Brella gets like a kill, like restoring the damage on shield. I don't know how you would even go about that. It sounds really degenerate though. So is the reason they put it on undercover only. But like as a hypothetical, very funny. It does sound really funny. Yeah, no. Like imagine that. Imagine that theoretical buff, and it's like there's a tent pushing on your plat, and they pop Zuka and get like a double, or like they pop Zuka, get a double, and then they have the second tent shield, and then they fight in the second tent shield before the first one disappears, and then they get another assist, and then there's a third tent shield before the second one disappears, and it goes on a loop. Like it's like opening Gambit the weapon. Imagine. Do you remember like tent in I don't even remember what version they added. I know 3.0 was like the cracked out tent, and Splatoon 2 with like the massive shield paint and 170 bubble and like all of the quality of life and stuff. Like remember like day 1 tent with like a million years of end lag and it took like 2 seconds for it to even detach. And like it broke instantly to baller like bumping it. Remember that? All the time. Bring back S2V10. No, that's what I'm saying. I miss S2V10. So much. That does too much damage. Please reduce it. Oh, it's a wiper! Why does it do so much damage? It's crazy. Like, that's a 60 damage hitbox. Why is it, like, 4 tapping Den Shield? What is this? Illegal activity. I'm out of here. I meant to jump like back here and I missed. I think I hit up on D-pad, I think. It was not the right D-pad. Guess you can tell. Correct. Thankfully the paintbrush is punishing people for holding forward, therefore I will help them. The thing. I think he crushed them. Oh no. Not the paintbrush squish. Do they drop send me here? Do you think they do? I don't think so. Why does that keep happening? Like, consistently. Like, why do I keep sharking under? I mean, this is like the carbon play. It's just weird doing it with 10. Thank you. That's fine. That's fine. Have a good night. Do I know how to properly play Tri-Stringer? I've messed with it. About it. I'm gonna go over here now. I don't think the Wiper is too fond of me. Oh, dude, come on. What is your internet? You're an NA player. There's no excuse. Bro's on Wi-Fi. At least you're probably an NA player. An English name. Therefore, ANA. You know very well could just not be. Weak. No. Okay. Let's go up here, because it's funny. Hello, friend. Hello, friend. Okay. Ah, oh my god. Oh, he sees me this time. No Michelle back yet. Been a little bit too much trolling. It's serious, I'm sorry. I know you're gonna get sorted. Just going Ursa. Stall. That's what I do, John. I get triples with Ingzuka. I kill the entire enemy team, that's what I do. I said Ingzuka, I meant Trizuka. Now imagine if you got 4 shield from that. Yeah, it just like stacks when I open the shield. It's like super thick. It's like a what do you call it? It's like reinforced. It has quadruple the durability. Still breaks the hammer instantly, by the way. It becomes wider. I mean, would that be a good or bad thing? Because it would get stuck, right? Sounds like a bad thing. Maybe that's a good thing. You could put stationary walls to just like completely block areas. Yeah, good night with them. They stop griefing in rank. This isn't very sportsmanlike of you. What do you mean? I got the triple with the Zuka. Very serious gameplay. I was simply letting the VJet know that they should watch their flanks because you could get surprised by the enemy Tenta walking up on you and then staring at you. Just helping them out. Good advice. It's really funny because even in Splatoon 2 solo queue, I would troll VJets the same way, but it's like even funnier now because it's not even like it's not even missile, like it's like vacuum. Like they could pop the vacuum, but if they're by themselves, they just get to look at them. Yeah, no, Wiper literally just dumpsters on Tenta. It's very annoying. I was literally talking about it earlier. I was playing an X rank and I rolled 2 Tenta on my team with like a bubble weapon. And like I felt like mechanically I played really well, and it's just it didn't matter. Because the enemy team had like a top 500 Viper that like understood why their weapon dumpstered on us. It was so depressing. Matchups be like... Okay. I know. You win the one though. Bro? Bro? Uh-huh. Alright. No, like, this is how you know I'm playing too much series, is I'm actively deciding to stay at enemy spawn and like wait for the free double. Because they'll try and ignore me and then I get Zuka. Like, it keeps happening. It's too much series. The way the Zuka killed Hammer sucks. I mean, it's like a coin flip, basically. Hammer's good, it's just inconsistent-ish. But if Hammer was like 1000% consistent, could literally Unga Bunga run at people like 100% guaranteed, then it'd be super broken. Like, imagine if Hammer was like guaranteed to run through things and it's like a Hydra just trying to melt this thing and it just runs straight through it. It'd be so broken. Especially like lower level, imagine. There's already like against like lower level players. Is this better than Camo or about even in your opinion? They do different things. Because with Camo, it's like more punishing when people try and like close the gap. Because you have like the reversal card. But I feel like this one's scarier at ranges. So it's like a trade-off, right? Because like yeah, you have the hammer here, but that's not like comparable to like a Zuko multi-kill shot kind of thing, right? Yeah, that's fine, Terra. Have a good one. Yeah, they do very different things. I don't know if I can't really like compare because they're also like in 2 different games. Because like when Camo like first dropped, it was like 190, and before we went to like quad shooter meta in Splatoon 2, it was pretty freaking good. Like it was played a lot to the point where the devs gave it like 210. Like it was pretty freaking good. Post Trizuka buff, I believe intent more than I did pre-patch. Because if you asked me this question last patch, I would tell you Camo for sure. Like on paper sense. But like, I don't know, now the Trizuka actually 2-taps people, like maybe. But against like a different context. This is a different game. I don't know, Sorella kind of neat. And it's like a different flavor, I suppose. Also the damage buff on Trizuka also lets it combo with mine a little bit better. Like if for some like unholy reason, if you find yourself in a scenario where you step on the strong hit of Ink Mine, then the weak hit of Trizuka just 1-taps you if you don't have like sub resist like times like 3 or whatever though. Really funny. I don't know. I mean at the very least, like the worst I can say about this tent is that's fun. And yeah, like it's fun as a baseline, which is like, wow, I'll actually play it. You know, it's not like me like pulling my hair out with V10, being like, oh my god, I can't kill, and my special is reliant on others. Kind of thing. Like, I feel like I'm allowed to just play this in solo queue and just, like, enjoy it. Good. I never got that feeling with V10 in this game. Yeah, like, I feel like whenever I play V10 or try to, I just, like, it ends up being, like, not passive gameplay, but I feel like I can never really truly go for crazy stuff, because, like, the kit doesn't super let you outside of funny, like, jumps to beacons, like, trolling kind of thing. But even then, like, some of the matchups you gotta, like, you know, fighting, like playing V10 into, like, Wiper is just, like just put the controller down, just go home and just close the whole thing. Like, it's like, if the opponent knows what they're doing at all, like, I just lose. Yeah, like it has the spirit, but it's definitely more. It's a lot scarier at like farther ranges than Camo ever was. Like I feel like Camo was way scarier, like if you're trying to get near it. But like this one's way scarier if it just like is holding a Zuka and is just sitting somewhere. Because you might have like those moments where you get beta and you see a tension and you're like, we gotta shred it, and then the guy just pops Zuka and kills you. And it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have peeked or let them know that I was there because I saw a shield and I said I want to shoot that thing. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. That's really funny. Also, I mentioned it like the night that they had the tweet revealing the kit with Zuka. I was really lukewarm on it because I just didn't like Zuka, especially pre-patch because I knew it wasn't very strong. But it's warmed up to me, especially after the last buff from last week. But I remember I explicitly said this weapon feels like some cursed clip weapon where you're just gonna combo like 10 shields and like mines and like Zukas in the most awkward, like stupid ways in close range, and like it does. And it's really fun because of that. So my thank you for the resub ladder hard. No, I agree. Hit 2300 in Rambath, which is like around top 100, and that was my peak, and I've been like teetering between like 2150 and like 2280 for the past like 4 days or something. Tough. I know, I'm here because they have a beacon. Oh, I do not like our team comp at all. What is this? Ew, slider. Yeah, I don't think we win this one. Got a feeling. Just trying to be cheeky. Hoping they'd like peek that ledge or something. Okay, so we have to nip them. You know, the funny thing is the rain doesn't actually hit me because they threw it from up there. Yeah. I mean, that could be really good for us if we hold forward on that, but I don't think our comp is really capable of that outside the 52. I don't even have stealth. Why are you jumping? Right there. You're literally walking. Okay. I don't think they're very aware. My mistake for expecting the courtesy of when I ouch that someone would like paint over the area to like see if there's a guy. So that's asking a lot, I suppose. Yeah, if it is okay, I'm just vapping in series. Actually, I can speak in our manual play it. Yeah, those will be really good on it. I don't think I'll get them, but it'd be cool. I don't want another victim to Sprinkler sub, but unfortunately I think that's the reality. Based on Expo's history. Alright, why are you doing a flip? You wouldn't kill me through the thing to break the shield first. Oh, this wall is so giga-brained. Oh, no, but the rain would go at this angle. what's happening. Ow. You want an aggro expo. See, Baller before it got like super nerfed. It was allowed to be. We can't have fun things. No more. I'm kind of surprised that Trap killed them, but... why not? Oh, he's a sharking here. Nice. Bubble's kind of far back. Oh, slider, go. I also think 55 is too, like... I don't think that's enough. I want Sprinkler at, like, 45. Like, I don't know, 60 is way too much for that play. Like, Burst Bomb is 45, and, like, Sprinkler is, like, a fraction of the amount of use you get out of Burst Bomb. So I think, like, it costing the same is perfectly reasonable. Strange as kill. Yeah, I really don't know what was up with that guy in the corner. I'm surprised he dropped into it, let alone died to it, because it was, like, around the corner. Like, I guess, like, one of the spiral shots hit, and it was enough to kill. Looked really strange. Yeah, I don't think we should ever have more than one Sprinkler out at once, because, like, that just sounds really dumb to just, like, stack, like, 5 of them when you have nothing better to do on, like, high areas. But I definitely think it's a thing, it should persist after death. No question. The only sub to disappear when you die. But now Sprinkler still needs more. Sure. Or a lot more, really. Yeah, resliding into zone is very much a strat. Devs are encouraging it, the fact you can instant cap on many maps like this. I'm guilty of abusing it because they're 5-star undercover. Oh, I'll probably wear Arrow Spray for fun. Just physical sliders. So funny combo-wise, and I do want to get Golden Slider at some point. I want a small curling buff, but I haven't done that. Oh my god, I'm so dead. They came behind me. There's literally no one to do. It would have been funny. That's really dumb. Yeah, I don't know, like, I feel like curling hasn't been relevant for so long that, like, making it cheaper or just, like, reducing the whiting nerf or, like, undoing it, like, such a gimme, and they just don't do it. Yeah, to be honest, I think Spectre's fine on Dynamo as, like, a sort of, like, coping ability tool, because the weapon can't move. And it has its feet painted, so not having to swing is really nice, even if it is expensive. Yeah, actually, I do want to revisit the mine on Dynamo thing. I think it was a really good idea with Modern Ink Mine, but the problem was that it had Stingray in Splatoon 2. I think mine is worth revisiting. I'd probably say mine. Well, actually, because Swig has mine and Dirt, but there's nothing stopping them from repeating subs. But I do want mine on Dynamo, honestly. Yeah, like Swap on Dynamo isn't really great because you don't really throw it unless you're about to pop special or something. It's like you throw it, you get like a one swing. It's like why? Like, it doesn't have mine. I meant Flingza. You know what I mean? Flingza. I don't know, like I was thinking of Big Swig Express. I was like, yeah, that one is. It's like no, wait, no, the other roller, the one with the really dummy paint on vertical, not horizontal. It's two brawls of mine. It's not impossible. True, and I like both of them. Mine is awesome on Brawler. At this point, just put it on V Brawler. I don't care. Why not? That's actually a lie. I don't think V Brawler should get it. A lie. V Brawler is like mobile. I don't think it actually wants a sub to hold the space like that. You're saying if it had the E-Leader kit in us too. Banger kit, by the way. Why do I keep getting this cover stuff? Speaking of Big Swig. Yeah, no, if Dynamo got Wall to be a reference to the one Splatoon 1 kit that never ended up happening, and because Flingza doesn't have Wall, I think I would actually just cry. Oh, I would weep tears for all the Dynamo put. Okay. No, you gotta go back to spawn. The guy booed me for that. Oh my god. That is such a mean and spiteful thing to do. It didn't even land yet. Now slider me, dude. Come on, slider me. I'll just do it. Just the slider. I know you want to. Oh man, just, yeah. There you go. Like actually crying from laughing, oh my god. Can't see. Do not pass go. Oh my. uh. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Like, I know Zuka can do it, but I don't know, it's been a while since I've done it, like, so instantly out of spawn. You're not hitting this, don't act like you will. You're not, I don't know, you're not hitting it. Be honest. Will not hit it. Will not. You gonna ignore me again? Or missling? You're missling me? Oh, it's just for me? Oh, you're so sweet. I missed the kill. It wasn't actually just for me, I was just standing in front of them. God. I'm just shaking my head, man. In fairness, like, they have, like, no lethals. And they're all baby gut. Like, 10 actually just, like, completely dumpsters their comp. Unless they get sharked by Carbon or something. Ah. Even his next rotation. Lamblets flounder. Oh no. I think we might stop at the hour. I don't know about Clamplets flounder in series. I don't know about that right now. That doesn't sound as funny as this. Like, it's playable, but like I don't think it'd be funny. Also, I can't play 10 in good spirit on those maps. Yeah, like I could go try or something, but I don't know. In like 3 hour stream, I think it's pretty good. I've been having fun. Freaking blasting the dude the second they come off respawn. That's actually just like the Monopoly, like go to jail, do not pass go kind of moment. I don't know. bit too much. How's that one shot? I think it like barely peeked the ledge. It's like weird when part of it gets blocked by geometry, but then the other part kills. Not again? Oh no. Oh no, that was... I'm surprised that hit, honestly. And I can't trust this Whipper. Classic. Get back down, but bound to happen over, like, really. No. Not too fond of Swiffer. Yeah, sorry, the average fellow scupper makes me slander. This is a very normal thing. Yeah, okay, that rotation's funky. I'm good. Good killed me. I mean, okay. I was about to end stream, so yeah, you actually are in fact killing the stream by doing that. Can't believe this. Yeah, that was fun. I think my next day off is Thursday, so probably stream Thursday. Uh, actually double check while I'm here. Uh, probably.